Good morning and aloha from Hawaii. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz and I'm joining you from World Tourism Network this morning in cooperation with eTurbo News, livestream.travel, Hawaii News Online. We're going to be talking about destination weddings and honeymoons. For those of you who are joining us on YouTube, Facebook, or on any of our eTurbo News publications, you can watch us. But if you wanted to be interactively part of this discussion, you can still do this. Just go to worldtourismevents.com and you can sign up for the destination honeymoon event, what is just now starting. I wanted to first of all welcome all of you. I see we have a truly global audience again, so that's very, very good. And for those that are not familiar with World Tourism Network, World Tourism Network has been around since March of last year. And we started the rebuilding.travel discussion in the world and then converted the rebuilding.travel discussion into an organization in December, what is World Tourism Network. We're now way over 1,300 members. With observers, we have about 1,800 people in our network, and they're from 127 countries. So we're truly global. And those that haven't joined us, you can do this actually free till the end of the year. With an invitation, and you are invited. So if you are not a member, just go and become a member, and you can put under invitation code ETN free. That's an invitation from eTurbo News. Just put in ETN free, and you can join us till the end of this year. The core of our organization are really interest groups, and we have formed a number of interest groups with subjects that are close to everyone in regards to reopening their industry in COVID or having a discussion for other subjects out of COVID within this interest group. And one of our very active interest group is wedding destination, wedding and honeymoon. And this is led by Nancy Barkley. Nancy will introduce herself. She is based on the East Coast, so 6 time hours away from where I'm in Hawaii. And Nancy has been working hard bringing this community together. I think we can also watch her on her own LinkedIn. And Nancy, good morning, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm always jealous when I talk to you because you're in Hawaii. It is so wonderful to see everybody. We truly have a global audience today with wedding planners, hotels, tourism boards. For those who do not know me, I'm Nancy Barkley. I am based in Philadelphia. I have been dedicated to the travel tourism industry for 25 plus a little years. I started out in the corporate world, American Express International Travel. Then I went into meetings and incentives with Carlson Wagonly. And then I got exhausted of the corporate world, exhausted a little bit having my 3rd child and having to do all the different schedules. So I started Honeymoons and Getaways in 2005. My specialty and my passion are planning destination weddings, honeymoons, anything romance travel related. So I am really, really happy to be here and thrilled to be part of the World Tourism Network. I also am on the advisory board for the International Association of Destination Wedding Planners. So we are moving forward with this Zoom. The pandemic is behind us. The title of this is, the new normal. What is the new normal? What are the lessons learned? I know my lessons learned, but I really want this to be an interactive session. And I would love for everyone to introduce themselves, tell us about yourself, where you are, what are weddings like where you are now? What are honeymoons like where you are now? What do you have to contribute as far as the pandemic and how things are going on? So I welcome everybody to raise their hand. I believe it's in the reaction room, depending on the screens that you are, but to raise your hand and just to get the conversation started. If anybody wants to be, I'm currently taking a online class and my instructor says you're either going to volunteer or be the victim. So does anybody want to volunteer or should I just call out a name here?
No, Nancy, that's wonderful. I think what is probably interesting to know, I see a lot of people from various parts of the world, and destination weddings is a fairly big industry. Maybe the first thing, what we would maybe like to explore, how's the situation in various parts of the world? I mean, I can tell you here in Hawaii, it looks like tourism is wide open. Other destinations may be different, but destination weddings are happening wherever tourism is open. And as Nancy said, just raise your hand, and we'd be happy to give you the microphone. Maybe if it's okay, I'm just going to throw a few things out here. Maybe just put Marika on the spot, because Marika is leading our interest for tour guides. And Marika, how's the situation in Washington?
We are completely open since June 11 to tourism. So I'm in the guiding industry. I'm a tourist guide, and the city is now completely reopened. And my question is, what is new in the new reality for us? And there's lots of things going on, like the health and protocol for safety, health safety protocols. That is one thing that is very new. Another thing is the virtual life that we have experienced all these 14 months of Zoom. So that's already a very big part of our DNA in the tourism industry. So there's still a lot of groups that don't want to come in person. And now we are more on the virtual world of guiding. And we are, going into nursing homes, and where people are not mobile anymore, because I think it opened up that whole new world, that we can bring the experience through the virtual world to a nursing home.
No,
so those are.
Marika, when it comes to weddings, maybe Washington is such a special destination. It's not only our capital city, there's so much to see. What do you know about destination weddings? Are people really traveling to Washington to get married? Is this a business, or is it more like an outbound market where people?
We're not ready yet for the international arrivals. Maybe the domestic is.
I don't mean international or domestic, but I mean if people really, no matter where they come from, are coming to Washington to get married, is that a destination where people like to travel to get married? For example?
Some. I'm not really so much into the industry, but I see, some visitors coming from out of town to come to get married here. But I don't know if we're the prime destination for weddings. Maybe Nancy would know that, if we're a destination.
I do. I think for me, what I'm seeing right now as for destination weddings is a lot of people wanting to stay closer to home. A lot of people aren't quite ready yet to make that trip abroad for different reasons, protocols. So everyone's safer. They feel safer staying closer in their bubble right now. So I'm in Philadelphia. So I think anywhere in the U.S., Philadelphia, Delaware is a nice destination. I know I have somebody from Delaware on here. I'm hoping you would get on and talk about your gorgeous resort and hotel. But, California, anywhere in the U.S. right now, I see people staying right now just into, there are some weddings going on in the Caribbean and in Mexico. But for me personally, right now, the requests I'm getting for international are longer out or more towards 2022.
Yeah.
Now, I see we have a lot of participation also from other parts of the world, in the U.S. and outside U.S. I see our friend from Ghana attending, for example. How's this? How do you see the future and the current situation of destination wedding in where you are? Anyone wanted to say or participate? Please raise your hand. Well, don't be shy here now. But otherwise, I'm going to maybe let's go to a participant who always has been with us and is also head of our educational group. I call her Professor Snow White, Snežana. She's in Serbia. How do you see not Serbia or the Balkan region in regards to destination weddings? Good morning, first of all, Snežana.
Good evening from Serbia. Balkan region as a whole is very good destination for weddings because all countries, we have in our culture, we have weddings are very important and people like very big weddings. So we have many specialized restaurants for weddings as well, hotels and such things. But nowadays, more and more people have weddings in outside, in the rural areas. Serbia is open for the tourists, for foreign tourists and for domestic tourists. But of course, more of the tourists are domestics, and it is open now for weddings because until 3 months ago, we could have weddings only with 10 people. After that, with 50 people, and now we can have weddings with 500 people altogether in indoor. So weddings are very, very important here, and because of that, I can tell you that many hotels, many restaurants are having special halls for weddings. And it's a great market here. Also, Serbian people, as I said before, they like to travel a lot and they like to have weddings outside Serbia. So they like to travel, for example, to have weddings in Greece, on Cyprus, in Spain. As Serbia doesn't have a sea, we like to go for weddings to the countries with the sea, for example. All other countries on the Balkans, Montenegro, for example, Croatia, they have a very good accommodation for the weddings. And they have sea, Adriatic Sea, so they are very well known for the weddings. Northern Macedonia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, they have weddings in the rural areas and the big cities as well. So this is how can I present you a market for the weddings. Also, we have here special agencies for weddings as well, like yours, Nancy. And marketing for the weddings is very big here. And the marketing is now going on all media, on internet, TV, for the weddings as well. So as I told you before, I think that it is very important for Serbian people to have proposals for the weddings destination because they like to travel a lot. And not only Serbian people, but the people on the Balkans, they like to travel abroad a lot. So COVID is like this, but you can see our countries and then you can decide if you will have your marketing in our destination for weddings. So I hope it's okay for now.
Thank you very much, Snežana. I hear some movement in the chat room, and I know right now it's wedding and destination wedding may not be ongoing at this time, but maybe you can tell us a little bit, how do you celebrate weddings in normal times? How do you do it now? What's the business aspect for it? For instance, I see participation from Juanita Zuzunaga in Colombia or from Maria Teresa Severin in Paraguay. Would you mind maybe sharing a little bit how things work, for instance, in Colombia or Paraguay, one of you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, who is this? I can get you spotlighted.
Okay, how are you all? It's a pleasure to be here.
Hi, good evening. Hi.
Okay, there is very little to say about Paraguay and tourism at this moment. Everything is like dead for more than 1 year now, and we are just really hoping that by the end of the year things are going to improve, and we are going to have a strong number of population vaccinated, because that's the main problem. And the other problems that are affecting us very, very much and very badly are that Argentina and Brazil are even worse than what we are. And so frontiers are all closed, and there is the minimum possibility for us to have people from those countries that used to be the greatest market, feeder markets for Paraguay. So it is a very difficult moment for us.
Right.
And well, we say that hope is the last thing you lose. So.
And I like you're optimistic. Tell us a little bit about Paraguay, because I'm sure a lot of people know Paraguay is in South America, but they really don't know much about Paraguay.
Well,
you tell
Paraguay
us where Paraguay located.
Sorry?
And you mentioned Paraguay is bordering, you said, to Argentina, and what is there in Paraguay? I know you have. If the world was at normal stage, why would you travel to Paraguay?
Oh, well, Paraguay is a very small country, and we have a gastronomy, a very good one. Our ancestral food, it is still being practiced, so you can eat them almost in every home in Asunción, and also in the countryside. I'm sorry. And well, we have frontiers limits with Argentina, Brazil, and Bolivia. We are a Mediterranean country, a very small one, and we export meat and soja beans, soja, and corn too, and more Asunción and the big cities that are a few among the countryside, and we call them the interior of the country. And we are most agriculture and cattle raising. And Asunción is a very cosmopolitan city, and also Encarnación, which is at the border of a very nice river, which is the Paraná River. And we also have the Paraguayan River, but we don't have a coast on the sea. And well, anyway, we have a lot of green all around the country, even if in our main city, which is the capital, Asunción. And we have very nice, how do you say that, artesanía? Our people work very nicely with throwing threads of cotton and making pottery too. We have a lot of experiences to live. Asunción has a lot of restaurants, many beautiful hotels, 5 stars, 4 stars. We are a developing country, of course, but we have a lot of universities. They are public and private, and our young people is the future, you know. I'm sorry. We have a cold weather for the last 2 weeks here. And we feel it because we are a very summertime country.
No, and I've been to Asunción before many years ago, and it's a beautiful place. And talking about food, maybe I know we have Juanita from Colombia, and we have Sahir also raising hand. But before I let you go, weddings, of course, is all about celebration. So how are weddings celebrated in Paraguay? What type of food is there? What do people do? I understand.
Oh, big parties. They used to be very, very big parties. And of course, it is international food always. But we have one meal, which is the sopa paraguaya, that it is not a soup. It is not a soup. It is like a cake made of corn and cheese.
Wow. And I know the food is, you cannot really beat the food in South America altogether. And so,
Yes,
so people, when you, a wedding, is it like a, how long is a wedding celebration? Is it all night, all day, or what?
Well, it can start at about, before in summertime, we started them at night, perhaps at 8 at the church, if you are a Catholic one. And afterwards is the party. And the party, it lasts until 5 or 6 in the morning. Now, yes, now due to the COVID, they are starting earlier, perhaps around, and because it is winter too, around 3 in the afternoon. And with all the protocols, they can go until 11 or 12 at night.
Wow, sounds like a Nancy. Have you had destination weddings in South America and Paraguay before?
No, Argentina, but no, not Paraguay. No, that sounds amazing. Thank you for sharing all of that. Yes. I was just trying to, and I'm sorry, some people are having, I can't find the raise hand button. And is it possible? I'm trying to bring Sophie up. She had a question. Sophie,
yeah, we have 2 people there raised hand. Okay. Maybe we can go to Juanita because she's in Colombia, what is kind of a Paraguay, and then we get to Sophie and then to Sahil, if that's okay. And if you wanted to raise your hand, simply what you can do is if you click on reaction on the bottom part of your screen, you see a tab reaction and you see this yellow hand, raise hand. Just click on it. Like Juanita is doing from Colombia. Welcome, Juanita. And thank you very much.
Hi.
This update from Paraguay, by the way. This was really helpful.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Juanita. Welcome. You're from Colombia.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Colombia, right? And we have, my husband and I, we have a wedding company specialized in LGBTQ plus couples. Okay. We have offices in Colombia and Guatemala. That's our niche, our target, the sexually diverse community. Right now in Colombia, we're open for business again. COVID and everything was, as for everyone, I'm sure, challenging, but something that really represents our people is that we have the spirit to raise again, more happy and with more stronger possibilities. And we're selling Colombia again. So everyone's welcome to Colombia. What we can say about what's going on right now, we are open for business. We're working again. It depends on the city that you're working from. Right now I'm in Bogota, which is the capital of Colombia. But on Saturday, I have a wedding from clients from New York in Cartagena, which is the coast of the country. And regulations and protocols and everything like biosecurity, I don't know the exact word. It will depend on the city, the venue, and how much people is involved in the wedding. Right now, we're talking about between 50 and 100 open spaces. And of course, Cartagena, with the climate and no raining and we don't have stations, we can work through all the year. So that's good for us. And what else do you want to know about what's going on? We're just start to work again with the regulations. You have to send to the, ¿cómo se dice? Alcaldía? Mayor, city, your protocols, what you're going to do, how many people is working, and through a website that is actually just for events. You will send the information and they will give you the permit to execute the wedding with all the protocols and everything, and you can work, and we're just started again.
And I would assume, I mean, I've been to Colombia a number of times, great place to go. I attended both UNWTO General Assembly and the other UNWTO event, and I've been to Bogota. I can tell you who haven't been to Colombia, you should definitely check it out. My nephew actually taught English, even though he's from Germany, in a remote Indian village in Colombia, and he has an experience he never forget. And I know Colombia is also very proactive in LGBT outreach. And this is going on for quite some time. What I find amazing, because also Colombia is a very Catholic country, like Mexico, and LGBT is widely accepted and it's promoted. And it's fantastic that you're catering to this important market, because it is an important market also when it comes to people able to spend money. I mean, most of us here are in business, in the travel business. And maybe you can tell us a little bit. I mean, you said you had an upcoming wedding coming up from a couple from New York. How would this go forward? Maybe you can share a little bit how many people are attending, and how do you prepare for this, and what is after the wedding? Is there a honeymoon, or how does it work?
Well, with Destinations Weddings in Colombia, we actually plan at least 3 days of activities: the day before, the day of the wedding, and then the after wedding, which is like a beach or boat or some activity outside just to chill and have fun. For example, for the next wedding that we have, there's 70 people invited, all from, well, perhaps 80% from the States, and the other 20 might be from Colombia, but different cities around Colombia. What we are doing right now as a country is targeting those places that have been very proactive with the vaccination. So the States, for example, is one of the countries that we're like watching and promoting our country to get people with this. What you have to do is just have a PCR or a COVID test negative to enter the country. And when you go outside, it depends on what you will need. We don't have the quarantine right now for the people that are coming to the country. And what I want you, well, what you said about Colombia and the LGBT community, yes, we are from 2017 that we won the marriage destination in the World Tourism Organization event. And last year during the pandemic, we won again as the emerged destination for LGBT community. So our government is very upfront by selling and preparing our country and our vendors through certifications with friendly business establishment and providers. And we actually have a academy, which is the Proudly Academy, where we teach our value chain or the providers that are involved in a wedding, how to serve this community in the right way. So we're teaching, we are working, and we're preparing as a country to get those LGBTQ plus clients to come to Colombia, visit and celebrate.
No, that's wonderful. I hope you're one of our members. I'm not sure, but if you aren't, just join us, because we have 2 groups you wanted to belong to besides.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me? I think
Yes, I do.
Okay. No, what I was saying, I hope you're one of our members, and if you're not, just please join us. And there are 2 groups you might wanted to, interest group you wanted to be added. One is, of course, the destination wedding group with Nancy. And then we also started an equality group, what includes outreach to the LGBT community. I think we lost you, but I wanted to say thank you, and maybe give it back to Nancy, because you wanted to introduce, I believe, Sharon, who wanted to say something. I'm wondering, just Nancy,
yeah.
since you talked about LGBT wedding, is this something what you're doing, or how important is this market for you?
I'm sorry, you cut off. Did you want me to?
No, I said you wanted to introduce Sharon, but maybe before that, since we've been talking about LGBT weddings, what is an important part of the wedding industry, just wanted to get your feedback on this, how important this is within your own business and with your outreach.
Well, quite honestly, with my own business, I'm not in that market.
Okay.
I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, but it is an important market altogether. So let's move on to, you want to introduce Sharon, I believe, and then we have Sahil also raising his hand.
No, actually, I wanted to see if I could bring Sophie up, because she had commented in the box she couldn't raise her hand.
Yeah, so, let's bring Sophia West, and then we're going to go to Sharon and Sahil. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie. I am representing the Palm Beaches here in Southeast Florida. And I just recently entered as the lead for the market, or the wedding market for this destination. And I'll keep it short, but I really wanted to ask you, Nancy, and anyone on the call here, whether it be from a planner side or a hotel side, what a destination marketing organization or the destination itself, what can they do in this time to better help you capture weddings and to kind of rebuild that market? What are just some things that maybe that you've seen or that you think could be helpful in that aspect?
Yeah, thank you for that question, because for me as a destination wedding planner, what I've learned through all of this is really who your partners are and who you can rely on and who's going to be there for you. So, so when I had weddings going, you know, it was invaluable for me to have the connection. So I could be able to reach out to somebody and say, you know, I have this wedding going on, and you know, now, you know, this pandemic hit and we need to do this and we need to do that. So the personal connections and the people that I could go to were so important to me. So I would say for you to connections are everything, to reach out to people and to let them know, you know, hey, if you have your wedding here in Florida, that I'm going to be here for you. This is what we're going to do, and to just keep us updated on, to be transparent. That's really everything. To be transparent, to say, here's really what's going on. You know, if you do a wedding here and you have a contract here, this is really what you're looking at. I mean, we really have been through the ringer, as any destination wedding planners that are on here, with planning them, replanning them, canceling them. So just being there for us, telling us the truth, keeping us updated on the protocols and what can be done, and that would be my advice.
Just a follow-up question to that: have you seen in the weddings that you're working on now, or just since COVID happened, have you seen, what are just some of those trends that you've been seeing especially more now with the recovery, are people open to extending their stays? Are they having their wedding in the same place that they're honeymooning? What are some of the things, or are they're going somewhere else after the wedding? What are some of those things that you're seeing, if anything?
Some of the things that I'm personally seeing is, I think that, even at, for weddings that are going on, some people are still tentative about traveling. So people are asking what kind of technology can we have? What does the venue offer? How is the live streaming there? We want to have our wedding, but, Aunt Sue's not going to want to go yet. She's not, comfortable getting on a plane or even getting in a car and driving somewhere. So, but one thing I'm finding is virtual is very important right now. People still want that aspect for it. And also for me personally, the international requests are slower than more people are looking for domestic right now. So that's what I'm seeing as far as the virtual.
And Sophie, do you, I didn't get this in the beginning, do you represent West Palm Beach as a destination, or you're a wedding planner in West Palm Beach?
So no, I represent the destination, the Palm Beaches, which is actually the largest county in Florida. It's about an hour north of Miami. We like to say it's diversity without the density. It has so much open spaces. It's very unique to our competitive set like Fort Lauderdale and Miami, since it's very crowded there. There's a lot of people, and especially with the pandemic, we've seen a lot of inquiries and requests just because of the amount of space that we have, and there's just a lot more room to breathe here. So yeah, so I'm representing the destination. I work with all of our hotel partners here, and I guess I'm representing them here too, since I'll be communicating back to them.
Of course, Florida, together, I think with us here in Hawaii, we have been very active, and tourism seems like it's relaunching. I can tell you a very good friend just moved to West Palm Beach from California, and he loves it. So it looks like it's a great destination, and Florida is booming like we're here in Hawaii. What I think is good news, but we also have to, I guess, keep our guards up and make sure we're doing everything right. We learn from the past and look at the future. And thank you so much for attending. Let's go to Sahil. No, I think, I don't know who was first now, Sahil, or I think Sharon. Sharon was first. Sharon, give us, tell us who you are, where you're calling from, and you raised your hand. And thank you, Sophie, again.
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sharon Campbell-Little, and today I represent my company, which is Wedding Optimizer, which is a wedding booking software provided to hotels, destinations, venues, and wedding planners. I want to follow up actually on what Sophie was asking about, how destinations, resorts, hotels, and venues can help us in rebuilding destination weddings. I personally have arranged more than 5,000 destination weddings in the last 10 years.
Wow.
And, I hope to continue to grow that in the future years, as I'm sure many of you do. And one of the things that I feel in travel is that technology is absolutely developing every single day, and the technology is getting better and better. However, when it comes to weddings in destination, we haven't seen so much growth in technology, and that's one of the challenges that we face when dealing with destinations across the world, or even domestically within our own country. And so I'm interested to learn, what is everybody using for their destination weddings, for their couples, or with their supplier partners, destinations, venues? What are you using to stay in front of your clients and also to keep up with them? Because we all know that couples are doing 90% of their research and planning from a smartphone these days. And if you're not mobile savvy, or you're not using mobile for your business, how do you plan to keep up with those couples? And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but the peak planning hours for wedding couples is between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. every day when your offices are closed and we're all tucked up in bed. So what are you doing to try and capture that business and stay up with technology? I'm Sharon, I'm from Wedding Optimizer, and I'd love to hear your views.
Well, where are you located, Sharon? Are you in the US or?
I am in the US. I'm in California, West Coast. Can you not tell by my accent? But I'm originally from Edinburgh,
I'm a German
Scotland.
living in Hawaii. What do I know about accents?
I've been here in California for 11 years now, originally born and raised in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Wow. Okay. Let me ask you your software. What's your software doing? Is it connecting with the right resources, or what is your app facilitating between 10 in the evening and 2 in the morning?
So yeah, I mean, our technology it's almost the best way I can describe it to you is it's a booking engine as if you were going to book a room, but it's for weddings. It's for hotels, it's for wedding planners and their services. So basically couples can find you 24/7. They can see what services you offer, your locations that you offer. They can book a full-on wedding package. They can upload legal documents. You know, from the front end, that's from a consumer's perspective. From the back end, as business owners, we use the exact same software and system. We can communicate 24/7, and there's no more waiting 5 to 7 days to see if this date and time is available with my venue. The venues that we partner with, the wedding planners that we partner with can show live availability, or they can hold a date and time until, you know, conversations and experiences are shared.
Wonderful. I hope you join our group, and so we can learn more on what you're doing and how technology can add to a better experience when planning a wedding. We have Sahil, and Sahil, from what I understand, is joining us from India. And of course, I can tell you, Indian weddings are probably one of the most lucrative. It's one of the most lucrative business. I can tell you here in Hawaii, a hotel GM told me before the COVID a few years ago, yeah, we're doing a number of Indian weddings, but please don't tell anyone because we make so much money on it. But Indian really spent, I've been to an Indian wedding in Delhi, Sahir, and my friend is just a regular travel agent. And I thought, oh my God, he must have won the lottery. But tell us a little bit more about you and what you guys do in India.
Yeah, first I would like to introduce myself. I'm Sahil. I'm based in New Delhi, India, and I am from Focus Events and Entertainment. This is my firm, and we guys are into wedding planning as well as corporate events. And right now in India, the scenario is we are not having that type of weddings as you just mentioned. Like we do have that, and wedding is like a festival here. Like it's for like 3 to 4 days, an ongoing festival. People don't sleep. People don't. They just have. Yeah, sorry. They have their meals. They don't sleep. Like they just enjoy. And about destination weddings, I haven't done any of the weddings internationally, but I have done a couple of weddings in likewise in Udaipur. You must have heard about the area that have a big palaces and a good, 5-star, 7-star properties. And there are like plenty of areas where people love to gather. We have the sea area in Goa, Pondicherry, Kerala, and mountains in the north. And this is all about wedding. Right now in India, we are only like taking 20 members from each groom and bride side. And so it's the business over here is not very well, and it's like hard to survive right now for a wedding planner or something like that. And we are looking forward for a good destination wedding also. Like we have many of the things over here, like people come and enjoy the culture, the food, and this is all about the Indian wedding. And I'm just very glad to be the part of your like meeting. It's already 11:30 a.m. over here, and I was just waiting for the meeting, and it was really good. And I would love to work with you guys if any of the project comes like in India, and I'm always there for something whatever happens.
Yeah, and then please join us if you haven't already. You can join this interest group, and of course, once you're a member of WTN, what is free right now, just use the code ETN free when you sign up, and it's free till the end of the year. So, and I agree with you. Indian is not only a great inbound market for wedding; it's a great outbound market for wedding. I think it's the inbound and outbound market wedding destination, and of course, COVID is definitely a challenge in India. And but things are due to become better. There is I think a silver lining at the end of the tunnel. How do you see this, Nancy? How Indian weddings?
I love Indian weddings. You know, you have to when you do destination weddings, you really need to specialize it in certain things. And if you are going to do an Indian wedding, you really need to know what you're doing, especially to understand the culture, which is beautiful. I arranged a very large destination Indian wedding in Costa Rica. And what I learned is if you're invited to an Indian wedding, you attend, no matter where you are or where you're located, because people flew in from around the world, and it is a 3-day party. But it's also, it is a party, but it's a beautiful party. And I love everything about it, as far as everything, the ceremonies and the paintings and you really just need to really understand the culture, and also have a lot of people on hand. Why I did have a very large wedding in Costa Rica, I also hired a local wedding planner to help me just to make sure everything went smoothly. But I just love Indian weddings, and I know things are not too great there right now. I have a lot of friends in India, so I truly hope things get better for you as far as the pandemic. And it's nice to see your face and join World Tourism Network, and then we can keep seeing each other, because the networking is invaluable.
Sure, that would be a pleasure, like, working with you guys. And if you require anything over here, I'm always there for you. I wanted to add a bit in your, like you said, it's a 3 days party over here. Yeah, it's a party, but we moreover like celebrate is as a festival.
Yeah.
We have like each and everything, like from morning to evening till night, and like it's keep on going until and unless a couple goes on a honeymoon. Like it keeps on going. And
yeah, it's wonderful, and the food is fantastic in India. So
we have variety from north, east, west, south. We have varieties. Like it's more than around like more than hundred and thousands of dishes. Each and every states like we have.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sahib, for being part of our group today. And I hope you join us, you stay active, and we can hear more. Maybe we can have a session on India and Indian weddings soon. I think our members and our audience also would enjoy this. There is Elaine. Elaine has been patiently waiting. Tell us where you're from, Elaine. You've been raising your hand.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Elaine Lease, and I'm the new business development manager at the historic Hotel DuPont in Wilmington, Delaware. Now, Wilmington, Delaware is located 28 miles from Center City, Philadelphia. We're also 2 hours from New York City, 2 hours from Washington, D.C., 1 hour from Baltimore, only 20 minutes from the Philadelphia International Airport, and there's an Amtrak station, so we're only 8 blocks from the Amtrak station. So Hotel DuPont is very, very easy to get to. We are a historic hotel that I did mention. We opened in 1913. We opened as part of the DuPont Chemical Company. The Pierre DuPont, who had his offices in the DuPont building at that time, decided he wanted an upscale location to entertain clients with. So he built his own hotel inside of his own office building. So we've been here since 1913. We are a AAA 4 Diamond Hotel. We are a member member of Historic Hotels and Historic Hotels Worldwide, Historic Hotels of America, and Preferred Hotels and Resorts. Also, we were nominated as one of the best hotels in the world by Travel and Leisure, and one of the best hotels in the United States by US News and World Report. So I want to tell you a little bit, that's a little bit about our hotel. As you can see in the background, that is our historic gold ballroom, also built in the early 1900s. And that is the premier wedding choice when you do come to the Hotel DuPont. Although we have another beautiful French Renaissance room called the Du Barry room, a little bit smaller, that is on the upstairs level. This is on the lower level. This room can seat comfortably about 300 to 350 at the Hotel DuPont. Now, in Delaware, we are so happy to announce that on July 13th, the governor is lifting the state of emergency. So things are getting better in regards to the pandemic. Now, throughout the pandemic, the Hotel DuPont, we had a lot of weddings that were canceled, of course, weddings that were postponed, but we were able to host a lot of smaller weddings too. But now with the restrictions being lifted, we are back up to 100% occupancy. So once again, comfortably 300 to 350, depending what else you have in the room. Also wanted to mention about Wilmington, Delaware. It's always been overshadowed because it's a nice city, but it's a little smaller city close to Philadelphia, which is a lot larger. But what we're seeing now is that our current president of the United States, President Joseph Biden, lives in Wilmington when he's not in Washington, D.C. So President Biden has been talking a lot about Wilmington and talking about his favorite places to go. And one of his favorite places to go is the Hotel DuPont. So we're really excited to see that great spotlight being shined on Wilmington at this time.
So you might have a presidential wedding.
It's a possibility. President Biden, he has hosted many, many events at the Hotel DuPont from the time that he was running for vice president, running for president, and then when he was a senator, when he was the vice president, when he wanted to do a press conference, the Hotel DuPont was the place to go. So we're really excited to have him talk about that. And in fact, it's been said that he refers to it as his hotel. It's not actually his hotel, but he likes to refer to it as his hotel since he spent so much time there.
And you said your hotel is at times 100% occupied.
No, it is. I'm sorry. We are allowed to have 100% occupancy because the restrictions have been lifted.
Oh, okay, and this also counts.
In the past, we were limited to how many people due to physical distancing and how much was allowed in each room.
Okay, but what about your wedding and events? Are there? I assume there's still restrictions in regards to the numbers and the and the setup for weddings and events like this, right?
Well, the restrictions have been listed, so that's why I said we're allowed to have 100% occupancy in our function space and in our event rooms.
Well, that's great news for the meeting industry altogether, not only for the wedding industry, I think.
It is, and in fact, Nancy and I had a very nice conversation yesterday. And in fact, thank you for inviting me, Nancy. What we've been talking about is that at the Hotel DuPont, we're seeing a really huge resurgence in social business. Certainly a lot of weddings are coming back, galas, family reunions. Families are feeling comfortable to gather together and be together again and to be able to be together face to face. Corporate association business is slowly coming back because companies and organizations still have restrictions on what their staff, what their members can do. So that is coming back slowly, but because the restrictions have been lifted, families are so excited and we are seeing the large weddings coming back.
Oh, that's good news, and thank you so much for contributing this today. Hopefully your hotel will join us. I talked to some of your other member hotels from your chain in Dubai recently at the Arabian Travel Market, because it's a global, I guess it's a global group or two global groups you're part of. Tell us again a little bit about the groups your hotel is part of.
We're part of the PM Hotel Group, which it's a managing company that has over 50 hotels actually in the United States.
Okay, but you mentioned something historic hotels.
Oh, I'm sorry. Historic Hotels Worldwide, Historic Hotels of America, and Preferred Hotels and Resorts. And those are organizations that support unique hotels and historic hotels.
Right, right. And that's a global group, correct?
That is correct, especially historic hotels worldwide.
Yes.
And do you have a question for Nancy before I finish?
Go ahead.
So Nancy, we talked about destination weddings and we talked about maybe some domestic destination weddings. What do you see that guests of destination weddings are interested in, the type of attractions or activities when the wedding is held in a city, down in a center city, not in a resort where you might have all of the amenities on property? What types of events and activities do the attendees like to do in cities?
You know, we did have this conversation yesterday, and I was saying how now that people are going domestically just for you know, well, you know, it could be for the foreseeable future, but they still want the 3-day event. They still want to, you know, so even if they're driving to Delaware, flying into Delaware, to still have the activities, to still, you know, to go in on the Friday and to have an event Friday night, you know, still. Like, picture yourself at a destination wedding. You might not have a beach, but you know, people are looking at pool parties or spa parties are always still for the girls, and the bachelor, you know, to do something for the gentleman, you know, be it golf or something, and then, you know, the actual wedding usually on Saturday is the popular time, but then on Sunday they still have something too. To not just have a wedding on a Saturday and to leave, to still make it a 3-day event, to still have something, activities on Friday, activities on Saturday and on Sunday, and just, you know, whatever your theme is. I mean, themes are still really big. So if somebody's going to have a themed wedding, to take that theme, and that's where a good wedding planner comes in. So if somebody were to say to me, I would like to have a wedding at, you know, your hotel in Delaware, and I'm, you know, what's your theme? You know, obviously you're a more elegant theme, so, you know, you would go with that, with what they would do at the restaurants on Friday night and on Saturday. I'm sure you have a wonderful spa. I can only imagine how wonderful your spa is. And golfing, is there golfing near there? That's probably a good question.
There are public golf courses within a few miles, so that's something that we could certainly arrange. So do you see that, do you see it's more about golf and spa, or do you see more that the attendees are looking for something unique to the area that they're coming to?
I think it's up to each bride and groom. I think they all have their own style and they all have their own personality. And that's really what is important, is to get to know your bride and groom and exactly what they're looking for. So honestly, each one is different in what they want to do.
Fantastic, thank you.
No, thank you very much. And we're actually a little bit more than our hour we usually have for this event. So this has been very exciting. I was wondering if anyone else wanted to say anything. I see some of the participants like Anita from Nigeria, or we have Kenya, we have Ghana. Anything from Africa? Anyone wanted to add to how weddings are celebrated in Africa and how the wedding, how your destination is scoring these days?
Is somebody on from Nigeria? I would love to hear about Nigeria weddings. I heard that they are.
Anita Okuri from, because you contributed to the chat group. Anita, you want to say something? Okay, well, we respect that, so maybe next time. But I can tell you. Oh, there is Anita. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful program. And it's really good to participate from Nigeria, but I'm only observing for now. This is my third event from WTN that I'm attending. I'm an ambassador from the African Tourism Board, and I just really love what you do globally. I'm observing, but next time I would like to have a kind of information, you know, I would like to discuss on how we can collaborate in Nigeria, because we have a lot of tourism destination, particularly for wedding in Nigeria. In Abuja, for example, where it is safe to be, we have the airports, And in Nigeria, marriages, wedding ceremonies are huge, big. You know, it takes about 1 week because it involves the whole clan. It's a big one. Pre-COVID, honestly, I can tell you it takes the whole village to get two people to get married. But post-COVID, it's very challenging because we have to, you know, activate the COVID-19 protocols and reduce to very minimal number and do social distancing. But all the same, you know, it's a thriving business in Nigeria. Thank you.
Yeah, and I note, Anita, just to add to it, I mean, the fashion industry and in Nigeria is huge, and fashion wedding goes together. I've been to an event in Abuja, and I never forget, you guys really know how to party. And you're talking about, you're the ambassador for the African Tourism Board. For those that don't know, African Tourism Board and World Tourism Network, there is a very big connection. I happen to be on the executive board of the African Tourism Board as well. And we're working together on so many different, in so many different ways. And anyone who is a member of the African Tourism Board is also a member of the World Tourism Network. So we work together in many different aspects. And Anita, thank you so much for being part of it. I know it's it's evening where you are, and we love to hear more from Nigeria and specifically how you guys do your weddings and your celebration.
Thank you.
Specifically.
Thank you very much.
No, I don't see anyone else raising hands, so I wanted to give the microphone back to Nancy to see if there's any final thoughts or if you wanted to bring anyone else in, and if not, we can probably move on. Go ahead, Nancy. Thank you so much.
No, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming on. This really was truly a global event. You know, weddings are here to stay. You know, people are going to continue to getting married. There are, you know, changes in all different directions. You know, for me, I'm going to bring it back to Elaine, the question you had asked, like, what are you seeing? I just have to say that's where a wedding planner comes in, because each couple is different and each has their own style and their vision. I always tell the couples to stay true to the style and vision. I'm seeing a lot more of personalization and customization, and also virtual still being a component of it. But the whole reason for this was to, I'm a big advocate about learning about other people's cultures, especially because I do so many destination weddings, and to just to come together here and to share information and to share ideas. And I will be following up with an email. So if anybody has any other further questions, or maybe you were too shy to come on and ask a question, or I see things that are on the side of the chat and I'm not ignoring it, but I don't want to answer questions on the chat because I'm looking and you know, trying to stay focused. So, you know, everyone has my email address. You can follow up with questions. And as Jürgen had said, hopefully you're going to, World Tourism Network has been wonderful for me. Connections are so important, and they've been so important to me for the past 25 years. And this tourism network has only enhanced them. So I really encourage you to join. And thank you for your time this afternoon.
And thank you, Nancy, so much. I see our friends Denise, for instance, from Trinidad, asking about Caribbean weddings. And this could be a whole new session I think we should do, because Caribbean wedding on its own, the Caribbean tourism industry is coming back in many areas, and wedding is big business in the Caribbean. So I would love to, maybe we can go next time and do more like a local presentation, perhaps of the Caribbean, of Hawaii, West Palm Beach, or Florida, all together, California, and maybe Colombia, and all these different contributors we had today, and learn a little bit more, maybe show a YouTube, a video, and report about it a little bit, so we learn how the wedding business is structured and functioning in various parts of the world. So I'm looking forward to everyone's participation. And besides wedding, of course, we have many other interest groups you can join at World Tourism Network. And please stay in touch. And this is a live broadcast right now. You can find on eTopo News, on livestream.travel, on Hawaii News, on World Tourism Events and many other platforms, but it's also going to be archived. So if you go to WTN.travel a few hours after this event, click on past events and you will be forwarded to livestream.travel, and you can watch us either on YouTube or Vimeo or many of these platforms we link to. So you can always go back to this session, see who spoke. And we're also going to repeat it on eTopo News over the next 24 and 48 hours. But I wanted to thank everyone for being part, and specifically Nancy for putting this together. I know she worked very hard on it. And fantastic, Nancy, what you're doing. Thank you so much. There's so much she's also doing in the background to keep this group growing. And for those that are part here or are watching us on our other channels, if you're not yet part of the World Tourism Network, just go to WTN.travel and put in ETN free as an invite code. And that means there will be no membership fees between now and the end of the year. I also wanted to remind everyone, if you go to worldtourismevents.com, you find future events. Our next event is on June 30th and July 1st. We partnered with the Asian Leadership Summit. Well, it's not only tourism, it's also economy, and it's a lot more. In the past, we had speakers, including President Obama and others. So you find some high-level discussions within the tourism industry. We partner with Amfort. Amfort is one of our members, and we are a member of Amfort. They're putting the tourism session together, and you would find people like the advisor of the Minister of Tourism from Saudi Arabia, who was the CEO of the World Travel and Tourism Council, Gloria, speaking. But you also find WTTC. You find Madam Do from Korea, and it's actually hosted by the government of Korea. So we're looking forward. We're going to live stream this on June 30th and July 1st, and then also archive this. This is going to be our next event. You can sign up. This is a little bit different, the upcoming Asian Leadership Forum. Actually, it cost a little bit more than $1,000 to participate, but we give it away for free for WTN members. But in order to get a free access code, you need to register, and it's on worldtourismevents.com. Just register, and we would actually email you a free access code, what allows to attend this event without spending, I think it's $1,080 if you convert it from Korean currency, but it's free for WTN members. It's also free for African Tourism Board members. Again, I can say from Hawaii, aloha, and hope you guys stay healthy. And we talk to you again very soon. And again, very special thank you for Nancy, to Nancy for putting all of this together.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone for joining. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.